So we had the musicians there, and Jerry and I always talked about the musical sheets. He had to bring his musical charts. We talked about 3 songs: Cute, which we can do a little number with the drummer, like a funny number, and Smile, which was written by Chaplin. You know, smile though your heart is breaking. And the third one I forget. I think it was Carolina. And he's going to bring the charts. Jerry arrives at the theater about 2 hours after call time, which was 2 o'clock. He arrived at 4 o'clock, and he arrived with his people. The orchestra's there. One of his people brought out a black canvas bag, unzipped the bag, pulled out this other canvas and wooden contraption, shook it down, and these wooden legs came down. And it was a high director's chair with his logo and his face and his Jerry Lewis on the back of it. They carried this all the way from San Diego to London, and they brought it on stage so Jerry could sit there, but there was no, so he heard the band play. I left, went to go do errands. I got a frantic phone call from someone at the theater. What happened? Jerry didn't bring his musical charts. The show's in 2 hours. He didn't bring his music. Who has his music? No. Does the orchestra have their own music? No, they didn't bring their music. They don't have music. You're kidding. So I raced back to the theater. I see Jerry. I said, Jerry, how you doing? He goes, yeah, good. Listen, I got a call. There's no music. What can we do? Is there anything? And he looked at me and he said, I've been in showbiz 50 years. And I'll give you a show and you'll like it. So I got up and I started to walk away, and he said, don't walk away from me now, you hung up on me once! I thought, hey, we cried after that. We you know. And I wanted to kick him out of the theater. And, you know, I wish I had the nerve to do it, but I walked back and I put my arm around him. I said, Jerry, I love you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm terribly sorry. We'll make you comfortable. And I went outside looking for a dog to kick. Showtime. If dog owners, it was just an expression. Showtime. Frantic. I'm totally frantic, totally nuts. So Jerry locks himself in the dressing room. And what I mean by that is, it's a big dressing room that's like a party room that's like half the size of this big space. And he asked me to hire bodyguards, which I spent $4,000 on for 4 days. And there were 2 of them. And they were bodyguarding Jerry. Well, here's the thing. They were in front of the dressing room door. Jerry's in there with my wife, talking to her about my anger problem. He's in there with Max. So now Jerry is in. Here's the thing. The bodyguards, professional bodyguards. I want to know what's going on. I want to be able to talk. And there's a comedian named Daniel Kitson. And Daniel Kitson is an English comedian. We weren't selling tickets. I had this press agent who said, would you like Daniel Kitson? And I said, well, I don't like to book anyone unless I see them. He said, well, he's just been nominated for the Perrier Award. Now, for your edification, the Perrier Award is the big award that you give at the Edinburgh Festival. If you win a Perrier, you're guaranteed a show on the West End and Channel 4 and all these UK media take a look at you and you become a lot more credible. And so I said, well, okay, all right. And I mentioned that we're filming the show for television, all spec, by the way. And the manager of this comedian said, well, Daniel won't be filmed. I go, what do you mean? He said, well, he doesn't like me filmed, he won't be filmed. I said, well, we film everyone on the show. We're not going to stop the cameras, we can't do that. She said, well, you can't have him. I said, well, okay, fine, we can't have him. And then she said, okay, is there anything you can do? And I said, okay, I got an idea. What if we film him, and then if you don't like his set, we'll cut it out. So Daniel did the show, comes out and says he sees cameras there, and he wouldn't go on. And see what you can do. And so my TV producer, Ian Thompson, was very smart and said, we'll get rid of the cameras. And what are you doing? What he did was he only got rid of the cameras that Daniel saw. And I negotiated. See, the thing is, there's always these two-headed monsters in showbiz. I negotiated with his manager. That's the deal I made. Daniel Kitson's opening line is, it's always been a dream of mine to play a third full Palladium to people who are here to see a dying man.
A third full Palladium?
Yeah, it was half full.
It's always been a dream of mine to play a third full London Palladium to a group of people who are here to see a dying man. Have I said a naughty thing?
I heard that Jerry was in tears at that point. Now the thing is, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to defend Jerry, but I didn't because he walked all over me. I wanted to go backstage and see how you doing, Jerry. Are you okay? Did you handle that? Did you take the mickey of it? Or are you angry? Can I say something on your behalf? But I couldn't because the bodyguard in my employ was guarding the door, saying, "Sorry, sir, no one's allowed in." No one. Well, sorry, sir, no one's allowed in. And I'm stupid. I didn't think, hey, wait a minute, I'm the producer. You know what? You are fired. But I kind of knew that. But I didn't want to cross that line. Jerry had me. All right, the show's going on, and we brought over from France, we brought over Pierre Tay. Pierre Tay is he a filmmaker, Andrew? Among other things, but a worshiper, sycophant, but a keeper of the Jerry Lewis legend, and was in The Day the Clown Died.
The Clown That Cried.
The Clown That Cried, the film that never got released about Jerry as a clown in Nazi concentration. Thank you. And so we gave Pierre, the idea was to give Pierre the award to give to Jerry. We thought, well, that was cool, you know? I really wanted to honor this guy. I knew he was nervous. I knew he was unhappy. I knew he wasn't really angry with me. How could he be? Why would he be? What did I do that could possibly make him so angry when I've done all these other things at my own expense to honor him? Admittingly, I'm a producer and I want some financial and recognition out of it. No question. And I want to help the charity. And I was using Jerry to help the charity and help myself. I admit it. So now, the crucial part of the show. We're going to show these clips. And I get word from my stage manager, Peter Graham, that Jerry wants me to exit the stage. He wants me to leave the theater. In fact, he tried to bribe my television producer with 100 pounds and here, get Stephen out of here. But I got word and I hid out of the way. Jerry came out, this older man, sick, weighing a lot more than he weighed in those days. And I stood in the wings and I watched and I saw the saddest thing. And here it is. I think we're going to get this one.
You have to ask yourself, without Jerry Lewis, would there be a Jim Carrey? Would there be a Mike Myers? Would there be Eddie Murphy? Yeah, probably. But we're going to look at some clips now from the man that, well, he didn't only pave the road that they travel on, he pretty much invented the whole deal. So watch these clips of Jerry Lewis.
Will you do me a favor? Give me a break. I just got married.
You what?
I'm on my honeymoon. I just got married. Give me a break.
Newlyweds?
No, elderly-weds. Yeah, newlyweds.
Oh, that is magnificent. May I be very first to congratulate you and wish you the very best of luck. And is that the little woman over
Yes,
there?
she's
Well,
pretty.
congratulations.
I'll teach you to kiss my wife.
I don't need no lesson.
I got a law firm, Schwartz, and Schwartz. So I called him one day. I said, hello, let me speak to Mr. Schwartz. The guy on the phone said, Mr. Schwartz is out of the country. I said, then let me talk to Mr. Schwartz. He said, Mr. Schwartz didn't come in today. He said, then let me talk to Mr. Schwartz. He said, Mr. Schwartz is traveling. I said, then let me talk to Mr. Schwartz. He said, speaking.
Okay. How's the banjo? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, said slight technical difficulty. Hang tight. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's groovy.
What's the saddest showbiz thing? One of the saddest things in life I think I ever saw in my entire life. I never used the word life. That's how sad it was. There I was in the wings, in the back wings, watching Jerry. And what you got to imagine is, lady, 2,600 seat theater where the Beatles played, and Lauren Hardy, and Abbott Costello, and Martin and Lewis. And now I was so thrilled producing a show there, albeit Sunday nights when Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was not playing there. And there I was watching Jerry Lewis, and I was watching this older, fatter, unhealthier, insecure, former biggest star in Hollywood, both television. And I heard this thing about Jerry. I read this book. He did the most amazing thing. He got the head of a network at the height of his television fame to spend $600,000 on a single broadcast, a closed-circuited broadcast to a sick Johnny in the hospital. And he got all his Hollywood friends, and he did this show, directed right to him. This is an amazing. Then we brought his friend Tony V, who was just along for the ride, a comedian. He went out and he did great. He was brilliant. And then I came out and made that announcement that we didn't see in the beginning, which was that I'm sorry to tell you this, but Jerry has been taken to hospital. Thank you for coming. Please pray for Jerry. I'm terribly sorry about what happened. Thank you for coming and good night. The audience left. No one really wanted their money back. No one complained about that, as far as I know. The ambulance came. They took Jerry out to the back of the ambulance, to the back of the theater, to the ambulance. And as he was leaving, I heard he had said, he was being carried on a stretcher, he said to Pierre Ete, he said, "I'm okay, Pierre," but I wasn't so sure. And now he's in the ambulance, and the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I just killed Jerry Lewis. And then I refined it the next day, which was, hey, I nearly reunited Barton and Lewis.